Hello, my dear students. Happy Valentine's Day. As promised, I'm going to answer questions that you are going to post at our Facebook page related to love and relationship. And of course, I'll do the best I can to be able to explain them well to you. Ask some more questions if you're not satisfied with them, okay? So I'll just have to do my best to answer those questions being posted. Okay, here goes. We will start. Is love at first sight real? Love at first sight is not real, but it looks or it feels like real because the person is feeling it. The thing is, we need to be corrected with the notion of at first sight, falling in love for the first time, or falling in love at the time when you see the person perhaps the first time to look at a person. You call it attraction. Siguro you call it love. It is not attraction at first sight, not love at first sight. Because love is a process, though attraction is like, it looks like, or it is like, according to Bishop Fulton Sheen, it's like a bait, no? Basically, the feeling is you get so excited when you see the person and you feel already that you are so attracted to the person, but the first time, that time when you feel that, it is not love yet. Is falling out of love real? And so how does it happen, and how can you unlove someone? Wow, no, falling out of love. When you say I fall out of love, no, kasi you based it only on the emotion or the feelings, no, because true love, you cannot simply unlove true love, because true love went through the process of really sacrifice, of giving, of really the process of journeying with the person, and to simply unlove, that is not really possible. No, it's like okay, so and how do you know falling out of love can be associated only with the emotion. So if you define falling in love, no, you are in love with a person and you actually base it on emotion, and that time when there are problems already, perhaps with attitude of the person, and you realize, you don't like the person anymore, and you associate with it with not falling in love, you are actually defining love with associating love only with emotion. And if it is true love, you cannot simply unlove. Okay, you can simply let go of the emotion, and one day the emotion could be because emotion by nature can go up and down, and at times it can it may not be there anymore when you feel that the person may be hurting you too much. But true love, you cannot simply unlove if it is true love. And if it's true love is something that, again, it's deeper than the falling in love thing that you are defining. And true love is not just emotion, it is decision, it is commitment. Regardless of what you went through in your life, you are able to stick with it. You are able to stick with the person, loving the person despite differences, loving the person despite the shortcomings, but then continue to communicate with each other, to correct each other, so that you would be able to say that so that you would grow together. How do you save a failing relationship? It is very important. Take note, my dear young people, a relationship involves two people, okay? And then for our relationship to work out, there has to be a partnership between the both parties. There has to be openness. Now, if one person is very open to build up the relationship, and the other person is not willing to build up the relationship, that is a problem. But if both parties are still willing to talk, I mean, try to invite the person to get to talk, to communicate, to have a dialogue, so that everything that all those concerns, all those stuffs that led to that problem, which may lead to a possibility of a failing relationship, may stop. There has to be communication. Both parties has to communicate, and both party, it entails openness on both sides. Now, if one of any of the party is not willing to cooperate, then that would be a problem. So there has to be willingness for both parties to open up, to accept, to listen, and to the willingness, to the humility to be able to correct oneself, so that the relationship could continue, no? Could continue, no? That relationship mag-work out pa ang relationship. Okay, so is this saving a failing relationship applicable to friends also? Yes, it is applicable to friends also. It is not just between two people who are in love. We say they are in love, but it can be applied also to friends. Okay. Are we too young to fall in love? You know, I just said a while ago about to spend your adolescent life in things that you should be like training yourself even more, focus on developing yourself, no? Too young to fall in love. You know, attraction kasi can happen anytime. And it may happen that you will fall in love without even planning to fall in love. Would I say that, oh, you're too young to fall in love? I cannot dictate you that, because you are the one who are actually falling in love. But can you wait to decide to respond into that emotion, no? Emotion, into that attraction? Can you wait for the right time so that you would be able to respond, no? Waiting for the right time for that to happen? Yes, you can. And I think, no, the waiting would polish no, you even more in terms of your character, no? No, are teens old enough to have a serious relationship? How does teen relationship how is it different, no, the teen relationship different from the serious relationship? You know, usually teens, you know, the teeners, the adolescents, this is a time when you are so emotional, when you feel intense emotion, and it's difficult to make a decision when you are at that state of intense emotion. In psychology, you have to calm down. Best decisions are made when you are calm, when you're settled by yourself, when there's no disturbing intense emotions or low emotions, meaning do not make a decision when you're at the peak and lowest of your emotion, no? How does this teen relation, you know, between an adult, let me say, no, a serious adult relationship and a teen relationship? A teen relationship may be based on intense emotion, the decision. I mean, the decision is made based from intense emotion. And when emotion dissipates or gone, you could say, I don't love you anymore. And no, that's not, I don't love you anymore because I lost the feeling, no, that feeling of loving, no, which is not true, no. The serious relationship, for example, with adult relationship, I would suggest, you know, being as teenagers, not to take really not to go into that serious relationship. No, I'm not making you no, this is not, no, to threaten you or to make you fear about engaging in a relationship. Your time when you're adolescents should be the time for to take your studies seriously, to develop your sense of focus and responsibility with yourself, to focus on growing rather than focusing on finding someone to be your partner. It's too early at this time, really, no? I want to be honest with you, to find someone to consider as your subject, no? As your guy or a lady for a serious relationship. You can take care of, because engaging in a serious relationship came from a process of a careful consideration, careful decision making. I would suggest you pray over, you pray for the person that you are attracted with, so that, no, if God willing, no, if God wills it, then it can progress into really, no, you would know when it's already something like you're already seriously considering to be involved with a person, and you can talk about it with a person or discuss these things with a person. Okay, so anyway, the difference is that, again, the teen relationship may be based on emotion, which can change, from time to time, and that when you dislike the person, if the person does wrong, you would say, I don't love the person anymore. But when in a serious adult relationship, or in a serious adult relationship, um, you would be more, there are those situations when you, even if there are differences or there are concerns that would arise in a relationship, you would still consider, because you want to grow, seriously, you want to grow with the person. There are values that you want to keep, and you want to stay side by side with the person, discover each other. So this thing can happen when you're at least are you're in that teen world anymore, when you are no longer adolescent. So please, be patient with yourself. Do not rush things and to engage in that so serious relationship that adults should take, because you may be endangering something very fragile, fragile things in your life, and that you would end your teen life and engage in teen life, and which you should be enjoying muna. Sana pag-enjoy sa ka sa imong teen life, kaya serious relationship honestly is not for you yet, okay, at this time. But you can continue to grow and polish your own, so that you could be maturer, maturer and ready for that serious relationship in the future. Does love change? Isn't it a promise until we die? True love does not change, okay? If you're really, really, truly in love, it does not just change. No, yes, it is a promise until we die. It is something that if it's true love, despite if there are challenges or if there are problems that would arise, you don't just give up on someone you love. You talk it out, with the person you love, and to correct each other, and to grow with with each other, and to that's very important, to talk and to correct and to embrace these differences, so that at least you will grow together. Separating from the person in those moments of crisis will not really help you, and then you will find someone, and still when similar situation would arise, and then you would also give up. How would you grow if that would be your attitude? To leave someone every time you find it difficult already to accept the person. That's not true love at all. Should I wait until I finish college to have a relationship? Being with a person, it is a personal decision. You can actually, I hope you would be, mature enough to determine whether you are ready for that relationship or not. But let me tell you, my dear young people, being in a relationship, it's actually a preparation for marriage. One question that I'm going to ask you, to check on readiness, because since engaging in a relationship, because young people nowadays, you engage in a relationship, and then if you don't like the person anymore, you just have to find a way to stop the relationship and find someone to, again, love perhaps, or someone as an object to your desire, to have someone in your life. But then it doesn't happen that way if you want to really find true love in your life. In fact, finding true love entails waiting and sacrifice, and a lot of waiting, and they serve best, those who wait. So should I wait until I finish college? From my standpoint, if you want to grow and make yourself find that be mature, more mature, in terms of making decisions, why not wait until you finish college, until you're able to decide well whom to choose? Because the true engaging in true relationship is actually a preparation for marriage. And one question, are you ready to get married? So thank you for joining me in this Valentine special Q&A thing related to your concerns on love and relationships. I hope I'm able to explain all the things that all your questions related to love and relationship. Okay, so have a beautiful day celebrating your Valentine's Day with your loved ones or your family. God bless you all.